Hello, Artificial Grande here again, thanks to popular demand from Aunt Julie. This episode of Cult's podcast is loaded with sports talk, so I hope you enjoy listening to my boys' takes. If sports aren't your thing, you'll be happy to hear that the next episode of Cult's podcast has no sports talk because Zach and Mason play 20 questions with Jake's dating life, and it gets wild. Please tell your friends to hit that subscribe button so that we can grow the show and receive more emails. Thank you.
Dude, this is dope.
I just got a little intro track for us now.
What?
Welcome to Cult's podcast.
Ooh.
Back for another week here.
Damn.
All right.
Making moves.
You don't even tell us about it. You just bust it out.
Well, you know me. I'm always busting it out without telling you.
All right, Deshaun. What are you drinking tonight, Mace?
Oh,
What you got over there?
I got the Liquid Aloha Big Wave Golden Ale.
Ooh,
Tastes
big
pretty
wave,
good
baby.
tonight. I'm hoping for a G&T. We'll see if it magically finds its way
G&T,
down here.
yeah.
G&T.
I don't think it's very magic. I think it's kind of like you order it up.
GTL.
Babe,
Please.
I'm thirsty.
I'm dying down here.
It's hard
So-
work, man.
Welcome back, Zach. Who's
Hey,
been
dude.
gone the past 2 episodes again.
Glad to be back. Busy couple weeks here.
He's a busy man.
Yeah. But, you know.
He's busy growing that beard.
Yeah, dude, he was showing off some battle scars too a second ago.
Yeah.
Look at that. What the hell, man?
I don't know, man. It got me.
Last week we had another guy with his arm messed up.
Oh, yeah. That guy went for a fucking IV trip, huh?
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah, you
That was
did.
pretty funny.
Oh, dude. That's the ultimate hype beast move.
Yeah. Gotta get healthy for my vacation.
I'm sure he was like super excited to go. He's like, "Oh, this is like next gen health stuff I'm doing right here."
Yeah. When in reality, it's just some random people in a
Yeah.
shop.
That's what I was saying. I was like, is it even a nurse or anything, or is it just some ex heroin addict?
Yeah, dude, that's a good point. Like, who's working for these parlors?
I think I'd trust an ex-heroin addict with needles more than a some
Nah,
some
dude, they'd be
nurses.
too twitchy, dog.
Yeah,
No,
they'd
no,
be sharing
ex.
needles.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I put this in the guy before. Who cares?
Yeah, they're reusable.
Yeah, dude, I used that
I
lunchtime.
burned it off with the lighter.
Jeez.
Jesus.
So, let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, where is my trophy?
I know the Super Bowl happened, but that was not the biggest event that happened over the weekend.
Nah.
You're
The
right.
biggest event that happened over the weekend
It's the
was-
Phoenix Open.
was Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski. Zach, care to put your 2 words in for that?
I think Volk's still pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I mean, he moves up a weight class and gave arguably the best lightweight we've seen since Khabib the best, all he could handle, honestly.
I would
It was
agree.
a pretty close fight.
I don't think he won. I don't think Volk won at all. But I think Mason had text about this later, but I think he didn't lose either. So
I would agree.
I think a tie goes to the champion. Belt should stay in Islam's hands. I got no problem with that.
Yep.
But honestly, I think it's a draw. And I mean, obviously, it's hard to do a draw for one of the biggest fights. But
I was hoping for a draw after seeing how the fight played out, though. I think
Mhm.
honestly that probably would have been the more accurate call in that situation. Now, I've only watched it once, and that was live. I'm going to watch it through again. You've watched it a few times. What have you
Mhm.
noticed on your rewatches that you didn't maybe catch on your
So-
first watch?
I just gotta state that I'm a little biased. You know, I'm Team Dagestan right here. So when I was watching it live, I thought it was pretty clear, like 4-1 rounds in Islam's favor, and I was pretty good with that. I didn't see why people were upset. I was trying to explain to my non-fight fans like why Islam won that fight, control time, all this stuff, and then watched it the next day just to kind of see, you know, did I miss something? What was going on? And I thought Islam won. he had more knockdowns, more strikes. That 5th round was big. He finished like a champion.
You mean Volk?
Volk, yeah, sorry. And then I was like, I'll watch it one more time. And looking back, I think it's a draw still. But I think there's a couple of things I want to say about it. One, they updated the pound for pound rankings, kept Volk at number 1. Yeah, I agree, man. Islam's a big 155.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Volk stepped up at 155, wrestled him well. Obviously, he got in that body triangle, took his back. That's probably what lost him the fight ultimately. And then 2, I think you run it back. Like, when else in sports do you have the 2 best guys in their prime, same
they can fight? Yeah,
fight. Yeah, there's no contract issues, nothing. They can fight right now, run it back.
They're not
20
yes, pounds difference,
Yeah, yes, you put lightweight on hold. You got a lot of contenders, whether it's Poirier, McGregor if he wins, Benel Dariush, Oliveira rematch. You have that. You also have the 145 class where you got a couple guys on the door. Who's the guy that fought the interim champ? Yair Rodriguez. That guy looks phenomenal. I think you just put that on pause. Let Yair just be interim, maybe defend the interim belt if that's a possibility, and run this fight back.
I really want to see the fight back, but I think it's going to be they're both going to go defend their belts in their respective divisions, and then they'll come back. Because what could potentially happen is, say they fight again in early winter, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Now Volk wins. Now you got to do the 3rd fight to see, you can't just let Volk. You know what I mean?
But let me answer this. I see your point. But what if Volk goes back, fights Yair, wins? Islam fights Dustin, loses. There we go. We just lost one of the biggest what ifs in history.
Fair enough. The only thing that I'll argue with that is I really don't think there's any way either one of them are going to lose to anybody.
No, I agree. But I think that's what happens. Let's say Volk wins.
Yeah.
He becomes double champ. Then he just forfeits the bantamweight belt.
Yeah.
Yair becomes undisputed champ, and then they run Islam Volk again. No divisions really put on pause.
Okay. Fair enough. I could get on board with that. And then
he loses to Islam the 3rd time. All right, Islam's the guy. Volk moves back down, takes the belt back.
Yeah. So you brought up a few points in when you were rewatching it, and that was the big question I had for you after this weekend. You were obviously the resident UFC expert, so you understand the scoring better than us. But it's my understanding that with UFC scoring, you don't get any recognition for getting out of a hold, or so Islam's whole thing is he's a wrestler, and he once he puts you in deep water, you're drowning. But Volk repetitively that entire fight was able to get out without any damage on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really recognize that as during scoring, do they?
Well, so the best way I can describe it, so if in wrestling, right, if you get a takedown, it's 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
If you get up from a takedown, it's 1 point. So sure, they recognize it, but it's not the same. It's kind of like if you throw a punch and you sting the guy, but he survives, what do you look at? The guy that just survived, or are you looking at the guy who threw the punch and stung the guy? Same thing. You take the guy down. All right, you couldn't finish him. He gets back up, but then you take him back down.
So, with that being said, if they are rewarding Volk for getting out of those situations, then if I were to rewatch that fight, I would say Volk won.
I think that you should reward him, but I don't think you should reward him as much as taking him down.
But the thing I had was there was only one point in that fight where Islam had true control on the ground and Volk couldn't get out. And
For 4 minutes,
but honestly, he didn't do anything with the 4 minutes. Like, why are we rewarding him for hugging the guy for 4 minutes on the ground? Like, if he would have put him in a spot and made him like almost tap or anything like that, been trying for an arm triangle, I don't know. It
But
just
Islam was ahead by that point, right? So it was kind
theoretically he was ahead. So you could
so he's
argue
going for control.
He's playing the champion move. He doesn't want to end up like Usman or Izzy and gets knocked out in the last second because he's already won the fight.
That speaks to my point that why are we rewarding a guy for literally just, having the guy's back and holding on to him?
I don't think you're rewarding it as
you're
much
not
as
rewarding
you are though, because if he's got control for the 2-3 minutes,
but what's more? But
it's more like neutral though. Like he's not gaining anything. He's just not losing anything either.
He absolutely is gaining. That's what won him that round.
Well, hear me out though. All right, I see your point. Like why you're rewarding him for not doing anything. Essentially, why should we reward Volk for not being able to get out of that?
I'm not saying reward him for not being able to get out of it.
So who do you give the round to? The guy who had his back for 4 minutes, or the guy who couldn't get out?
Listen. If he would have done something with his back, like anything, if he would have punched him in the face a few times during that, I would have said, okay, he had control and he was consistently, trying to push this fight forward. But it just didn't seem that way to me.
So you make him lose the round.
Nope.
Because he couldn't do anything? So, we're not rewarding him. We just gave him the round.
I would make him lose the round because he was losing the round up until the point he took Volk and then bear hugged him for 3 minutes.
Dude, 3 minutes is the majority of the round.
Yeah.
I get it. I do. I get it, and that's how it's scored. The control time's a big thing, but control time without any damage, control time without anything happening doesn't seem like you're winning. It just doesn't seem like you're winning a fight if you're just holding on.
Does it see that Volk's winning the fight though? If you're just being like,
no, I'm not.
So do you give the round a draw then? Like what?
There's a lot to it, right? You got to also score what happened.
To deduct points.
No, it's what happened going up to that point too, right? Like that point of that round wasn't the only thing that happened during that round.
No, right. I mean they were pretty even on the feet though.
In that round,
I think so. Obviously, I had to go back and look strictly at that fourth round.
Right.
But
my memory, and like I said, I've only watched it through once, and when you watch it live, it's a different.
I think you're underestimating just how good Volk is as a wrestler and how hard it is to keep him down on the ground and hold him for that long.
Yeah, that's why I see it as like a win for Islam, because it's like if you're gonna control him like that, and he is that dominant of a wrestler.
And I get that he's not punching him, he's not causing damage. He was going for a submission though most of the time.
But he was never even close to it, right?
I think he might have got
a bunch of hand fighting.
He got and slipped.
And like I said,
I think he got a neck crank on him, which, if we remember, Khabib submitted McGregor with a hand crank. So
but he didn't have it going. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I agree. He wasn't close.
So Volk
wasn't a threat. He was giving a thumbs up most of the time.
To be fair, at least he was trying to put him in that crank.
Mm-hmm.
There's that portion of it. In my mind, and I'm not trying to say Volk won the fight, nothing like that. I respect what happened. It was a bad taste in my mouth that it seemed like Islam couldn't do what Islam wanted to do. He couldn't really take him down very often. And when he did, Volk was able to get out of it really without too much trouble. And it just seems like what won the fight was them laying on the ground together at the end of the day.
I agree. Islam couldn't do what he wanted to do with them. Volk couldn't do what he wanted to do with Islam, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Except for that last round. That last round. And we've talked about this. I think that should be a 10-8 round for Volk. He got knocked down, maintained top control for 2 minutes, caused most of the damage we saw in the fight.
Yeah, because Islam really didn't have much damage to him until that point.
Mm-hmm. Where the other 4 rounds, I think it was 3-1 Islam up to that point. And I think that would have made a draw in the fight. But now draw goes to the champ, which would be Islam.
Absolutely.
So,
and I told the people at my house, you can't take a man's belt with that fight.
No, I agree 100%. Islam did lose the belt that night.
No.
But I think the obvious answer is you run it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as
I think we all want to see that.
Mm-hmm. I think Dana does it.
You think that's their next fight?
Hear me out. Because the bantamweight throws me off because we don't know what Yair wants. And he had an impressive win, so we don't know. But Oliveira and Beneil Dariush just signed a belt looking for May. That looks to me to be the next man up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they're signing that for May,
Islam,
he got time to run another.
Islam even mentioned Dariush in the post-fight comments.
I think he's the guy. I think Dustin's worthy of a shot.
If he can beat Oliveira.
That's a big ask.
I think it's funny how scary of a human being Oliveira is, and Islam kind of just like pushed him to the side in that fight.
Dude, just like I don't know how I felt watching the fight. You remember that old like boxing game,
Punch Out,
Mighty Mike or something? Punch Out. You know the little fighter guy. That's what Volk reminded me of. Like Islam, I swear Islam had at least a foot on the guy, and he was.
Dude, he's no joke.
He's better than I thought he was.
If he would have knocked Islam out, he just cemented himself in top 5 all time.
I was telling the people that I watched the fight with, if Volk won that fight, he's the GOAT in my book.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't put him over John Jones quite yet.
I don't know, man.
We'll see what happens with John Jones coming in a couple weeks.
You see, I think it was Lil Wayne tweeted out. So he tweeted out, he's, man, how you going to rob Volk like that? He's like, I'm done watching the UFC. I'm done. And then 5 minutes later, his tweet's like, oh, shit, they got John Jones fighting next month? He's like, I lied, fam.
It was funny to me how many people thought Volk did win that fight, though. Because I am 100% biased, and thank you. As I'm watching that fight. GT. So I'm 100% biased, and after the fight, I was like, dang, he lost. But I had it 3-2. If I definitely didn't have it 4-1.
I had it 3-2 as well. I think Volk won the second, third.
Yeah.
Second, fifth. Sorry.
Yep.
But I think it was a good fight. Unfortunately, it's not the fight that makes new UFC fans.
Right, but
it's a UFC fan dream fight.
Yeah.
When are we going to see Usman Edwards again? Is that coming up?
It is.
July.
Oh, is that long?
Far down the road, is it?
It might be. I thought Usman had to get hand surgery.
Let me do some search real quick. While I'm doing this, what's your take on John Jones versus Cyril Gane?
I never bet against John Jones. March 18th. That's next month. We get Usman Edwards.
Yeah, you get 2 pay-per-views next month.
Ooh. Awesome.
I think
too, it sounds like.
I think Gane is probably the best heavyweight we've seen. Like in terms of like overall skill. Obviously, he's had his losses. There's Stipe, who's probably the best heavyweight ever.
For now,
but. I think it was Chael Sonnen who said, he's like, man, you could give me a Usain Bolt versus John Jones sprint, and I can't find myself to bet against John Jones. So I think, I think Jones takes it.
Okay.
What's your guys' predictions?
I'm gonna roll with Cyril Gane.
I mean, that's fair.
I lost with Cyril Gane when he faced Ngannou. I thought
Gane was going to win that too.
And I think Cyril would have if Ngannou wouldn't have came so prepared to wrestle.
Jones right now is an opening favorite.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he's considered the GOAT, so you kind of have to.
I mean, I'll save my GOAT argument for another pod, but we all know who tops it for me.
So did you guys do anything fun Sunday night? Or did you just nap?
I was kind of recovering from Saturday night.
Dude, I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
You didn't watch it?
I did not watch the Super Bowl.
Why?
I had no interest.
I mean, it's football, dude.
I didn't really have any interest either.
It just
Football's
didn't do it for me,
football.
man. No, it doesn't do it for me anymore.
Damn.
It doesn't do it for you anymore. It's not that bad.
You two are some sad sacks.
I watched it, man. I just don't. It was one of those ones where I don't care. I don't care who wins this.
No, but I mean, it's no different to me with a Cyril Gahn versus John Jones fight. Honestly, I don't care who wins it, but I'm still going to watch it because it's a big fight.
That's true.
That's a fair point. I just, I don't know, man.
Just wasn't feeling it.
I wasn't filling up for it. I was texting Johnny before it. I was like, I don't know, dude. I think the way the refs have been playing this postseason, I think they're just going to ruin it.
Yeah. Do you think they did?
Nah, it was a holding.
I agree.
Obviously, this is what I've been telling people.
I don't think that was a holding.
It was
but I don't think
it was a definite holding.
It was absolute holding.
This is my
barely
take.
touched him.
He yanked his jersey.
It didn't affect his running path.
It
absolutely did, because that's 1 or 2 steps shy, 1 or 2 steps more to catch that pass.
Yep.
But I hate watching a game like that in that way.
Yeah,
what way?
That's true. Even Greg Olsen
refs
was
dictating it, like having a penalty, give it to you.
Yeah.
Listen, if it was,
I get it's a real penalty. I just wish he would have made the play and caught it instead.
fair.
That's what Greg
That's the
Olsen
only thing.
kept saying
Definitely
at the end of the game, right?
Definitely a penalty. I just don't want that to be the outcome.
He was like, "This is going to be a classic game," and now it's kind of just going to end as a dud.
I still consider it a classic game. Like,
I mean, it was good, but like, imagine if they would have just got a touchdown. The Eagles are marching down the field with I don't know, a minute left. Even if they don't make it, that would have been better.
for anybody that's upset with the refs calling a foul, you can also be equally as upset with Jerick McKinnon, who had a walk-in touchdown, dropping on the 1 yard line so that he didn't score and give the Eagles. So I mean, it's really the two things are the exact same. If the entire concept was they just wanted to see the Eagles have a chance.
I mean, I think that Jerick McKinnon play might be I think that's an value aspect of McKinnon.
Smart.
Yeah, I would hope
smart,
that my running backs would know that.
I do hate it. I hate that play.
I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
I always hate it. But if you're a fan of that team, you're so happy he did it.
Oh, if I'm a Chiefs fan, I love that guy.
Because they literally stopped the Eagles twice the entire game. So if he wouldn't have, I honestly think that they could have went.
Mm-hmm. I honestly thought the Eagles were a fake team up until the Super Bowl.
I still think they're a fake team.
I thought they were pretty good this season.
They have amazing players.
They had the easiest path to the Super Bowl in the history of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they almost lost to a perked up Patrick Mahomes.
I think Jalen Hurts impressed me because I was thinking he was kind of going to be the reason they lost, but he ended up being the bright spot for them. What is that?
It's a book by Mike Rainey that I'm reading. It's called On Perks.
Shit.
Just because Zach said that.
But I think Jalen Hurts proved that he was the best player on the field.
The guy's legit.
He was a stud on that Super Bowl. Now, going up to that point, he was kind of a dud, but what lost him the game was
I like him. He's
not
from
being
Houston.
able to get to Mahomes. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. If it's not the Patriots, I'm out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know, man. I just like sports.
Thankfully, it usually is the Patriots.
Yeah, not anymore.
I'm with you. If I had a Super Bowl party or something like that, I probably would have watched it. But
It's definitely
honestly, I was just a little tired.
didn't have
UFC
anybody
fight
over.
kept me out too much. Yeah, it's just
No, I feel that. I can get on board with that because if I was by myself, I'd probably be like, whatever.
Like, it just didn't excite me.
What happened to like good Super Bowl commercials and stuff like that?
I don't know.
I didn't hear there were
pay
any good
attention.
ones.
Dude, they just
I think that's done. I think
it
that's
is.
over.
It is. The past few years, I've just kind of been like, man, these are just kind of average.
Are you guys familiar with who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah.
Jake, you know Mr. Beast?
I don't think so.
So
I know beast mode.
He's the.
Yeah.
I think he's the biggest YouTuber.
Yeah.
Like, he has like the most subscribers.
He just gives money away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
But
now.
he gets like hundreds of millions of views per video. And so
I mean, we're not that different.
there's
Yeah.
there's a tweet, like average cost of a Super Bowl ad. And people are paying $200 million for like a 1 minute spot. And he tweeted, he like retweeted him or however that works and says, hey, if you guys want to reach more viewers for more time, let me know.
Yeah.
So do you think advertisers might have picked up on this, that maybe the Super Bowl is not the best way to spend their money?
Yeah, because honestly, people are done watching the Super Bowl commercials.
Because, I mean, obviously Budweiser, Doritos.
Budweiser is just not even seen anymore. On Super Bowl
Really?
Yeah, what
commercials.
happened to the Clydesdales? Did
Dude.
they die?
Yeah, they're like, well, these ones died. We might as well quit doing the commercials.
Gotta stop the commercials.
God grow them up again,
Jesus.
We only got two now. They're going to be the Wells Fargo carriage.
We ate them during COVID. We got to move on.
Jesus. I wonder if we ship them to Ukraine, too.
So, speaking of Mr. Beast, you see the thing where he cured a lot of people's blindness?
And people are hating on him
And
for
people
it?
were pissed at him. You're just doing that for yourself. It's like, what?
After you're a certain level of fame, it doesn't matter what you do. People
Yeah.
will always hate you.
There's a saying. There's a saying I heard. I think it fits perfectly for this. Jesus was a pretty cool dude, right? Did some good things.
I'd say so.
They still killed him.
Yeah.
You can't please everybody.
Yep. This is a fact. Yeah, we can't be surprised that Mr. Beast has taken some heat when Jesus got murdered.
So you guys saying we're coming after Mr. Beast now?
No.
I'm not, dude. Fuck, dude.
That's a fight you don't want to fight.
I don't care if he cured all those people's blindness for more views. He still cured blindness.
Yeah.
He's
At the
done
end
more
of the
than
day-
fucking Russell Wilson and his charity does. Fuck.
At the end of the day, these people can see good now.
dangerous.
He's dangerous. Yeah, it was blowing my mind, man.
I don't get it, man. People are going to be upset.
Did you guys watch golf?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Johnny was there.
Yep.
Yep. Did you see the...
That's like my
Streaker?
favorite tournament all
I saw the
season.
streaker.
That was Johnny.
Is that Johnny?
No. That guy was hung way better than Johnny.
So explain to me this, because I'm not I picked up golf last year, but by no means do I keep up with like the pro sport or watch it. It seems to me like this. I think Mason was the first person to tell me about the waste management thing, how it's legit, how you can throw your trash, people come pick it up. Like they make more of an event out of it.
Right, and this is honestly
It's-
what
yeah.
golf needs to grow. Cause
Did this just come out of the next few years, or like why is it just now that?
No, it's probably been
mainstream?
10 years or so now. But it's grown over the years. It's really the fact that they built the stadiums seating on hole 16 and 18. So you can fit like it seats like 20,000 on the hole, which no other golf course has that. But the other thing is it's like a giant party. There's beer everywhere. It's like the highest attended event in the US sports, so
Wait, really?
I'm trying to come up with...
yeah, but you also have to think it's over the course of 4 or 5 days. So
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's honestly the first I had heard of it was last year when Johnny said, "Oh yeah, we're going to the Waste Management Open." I'm like, dude, what the hell are you even talking about?
Yeah, I was like, why do you pay money to go to that?
Yeah. I'm not gonna go watch people golf because honestly, I don't watch golf on TV either.
Same, yeah.
But
It sounds like a pretty legit event.
yeah, the
Yeah.
problem is
I don't want to watch golf, but I want to be there.
I don't.
so My
They
cousin
freaking decided to make it the same year as the Super Bowl every year.
Oh, that's dumb. Well, I mean, it
Well,
worked out because they were both in Arizona, right?
The past 2 years,
Yeah.
it's the same day because they moved the Super Bowl back a week. But before that wasn't a problem.
I'd be switching my open.
Anyway,
so.
I was saying my cousin ended up going too because he lives out there in Arizona, and he said tickets were $1,200 a piece.
For the Waste Management Open?
Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah,
did not pay $1,200.
I want to know how much Johnny paid for his tickets.
That's what I was saying. I think it might have been like a
because that's significantly more than at the Stanley Cup game.
That's what I said. I was like, that's insane. I would never go to a
that's
golf
Super
game
Bowl
for
level
$1,200.
prices, right?
No.
I don't know. That's
crazy though.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
Either your cousin is like down standing with the golfers, or
Probably.
or lying.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his cousin's taking a couple strokes with the golfers for those prices.
What kind of strokes?
That's true, probably too.
Before the tournament began, or
as the great poet Antonio Brown once said, "Different strokes for different folks."
Johnny said it was $50.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's way different than $1,200.
Yeah, I'd pay $50.
Yeah, except for
and then even if I don't want to go, I'd be like, it's $50.
Yeah,
I'd rather walk than sit in the stadium seat though, because you can follow them hole to hole if you just walk.
That Phoenix Heat, dude.
And the whole point of this thing is to get drunk, so I do not want to be walking in Phoenix trying to get lit.
I don't want to be in the
It was
sun.
almost 70 degrees this year.
Oh,
I don't want to be in the sun and drunk, man. Nope.
Yeah, it's pretty fun though. It was fun to watch on TV. I typically watch golf if there's nothing else on.
So is this the best sports weekend? And
that's what I said.
could be up there.
I said that last weekend on the pod.
Let's think of what happened the week leading up to it too. NBA free agency, or not free agency, trade deadline. People going.
All right, someone explain to me this. I don't follow basketball that closely, but like, what is it like? They sign a contract. Don't you have to like uphold that contract? Like, what is the deal with these guys signing these like 6-year deals and then playing 16 games and leaving?
What? That is a problem that like they control the league. They say, I want to get traded. Boom, trade. Boom, trade. You see an NFL player say, I want to get traded. They say, tough shit. Get back on the field.
NBA is like,
go back out there, Tua.
It's one of those sports where it's like all stars, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, because I kind of like what the Nets owner did. He didn't trade Kyrie to the Lakers just to like spite him.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, is that what we have to do?
Out of that. I respect the hell out of that.
You want to get traded? All right, we're going to send you somewhere you don't want to be. Is that like... Is that the net?
Another problem with the NBA, though, is like because they build these super teams like that, the minute they hit adversity, just barely, they're like, I want out.
Dump everything.
I want something easier. I mean, you see with Kevin Durant, it was OKC. They're tearing it up. They can't get past the Warriors. So what does he do? He goes and joins the Warriors.
Oh, look.
And he says, I'm gonna go build the Nets organization up. Well, that's not working. So what does he go? Who lost the championship last year? Oh, send me to that team. I bet you I could help the defending Western Conference champions.
NBA owner, how do you build a team around someone then?
You got to find the right guy.
Ask Denver.
Yep.
That's true.
The Joker.
I think that's mostly coaching, though, right?
Well, it could be cultural
drafting.
Too. Cultural.
Yeah, I mean, all the guys on our team, for the exception of
you're saying, if in a draft, like you could still ask for a trade if you're really good or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I think it's cultural because everybody in America is so entitled to everything.
Shut up, bitch. That's mine.
Basically.
There's just no...
That's how I run this pod.
No grit in Kevin Durant.
There is no grit.
No grit.
He personifies the cupcake label so well.
As much as I don't like LeBron James, that guy's gritty.
Oh, buddy. But he's a cupcake too, really, in all honesty.
Yeah.
He plays, though.
He's gritty, all right? He went back to Cleveland and said, I'm winning.
He's somewhat gritty.
Yeah.
Grittier.
I mean, Joker's obviously the grittiest.
Somewhat.
Patrick Beverly's grittier.
3-time MVP, we think?
They ain't going to give it to him.
They won't. We'll see what happens. They'll probably try to give it to somebody else.
What are the
just
Nuggets
to
right
give it to
now? Are
somebody.
The ever
40,
foreigner in Dallas is
19,
going to win
18?
it.
Yeah, the Nuggets have the best record in the NBA, and they're not the favorite. They're like 4th or 5th on the.
Well, we had the best
odds.
record in the West.
To
But
be
is it
fair-
the whole NBA?
Well,
No,
it's
I
either
think
us
Boston.
or the Celtics. Yeah,
Yeah.
To be fair, I think Boston's probably the best team.
the Suns are the favorite.
Well, I mean, it makes sense.
It does not make sense.
Paul, Booker, KD.
They haven't been winning.
Give it time.
And Durant's hurt. He's not even playing.
Yeah, I remember everyone at work was like, "You scared of the Mavericks now?"
No.
I'm like, nah, I ain't scared. And then KD goes to the Suns. I'm like, fuck. This was our year.
Still not, because Jamal Murray is starting to heat up. As soon as he can stay on the court without having to take a game off.
Hey, dude, I'm okay with the way they've been like taking games off though. Like, I think we roll into playoffs healthy.
Yep, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Even the glass back of Michael Porter Jr. I think he can play through his playoffs.
You know who's gritty as hell is Aaron Gordon.
That guy's having
Yeah.
a season, man.
Oh,
Comeback
my.
player for sure.
Oh my! What did you think? You went to a game recently, didn't you, Jake?
Oh yeah.
Does it blow your mind like when you go to a live basketball game? Don't they look really skinny?
They are pretty skinny. I mean, it's definitely like they're not as big as you think they are, I guess. But it's kind of like when you go to a concert, like you think that person's going to be so big, but if you're actually standing next to them, like you're typically bigger than them. I don't know what it is about like being on stage or being on performing or whatever, but you just seem like a bigger person.
Yeah. When the games I went to, you see these guys and you're like, dude, that guy's huge. And yeah, height wise he's huge, but you see him and he looks skinny because he's so long. His arms look skinny, his entire body looks skinny. And before you went to that game, you were thinking, man, that's one of the biggest guys, like thickest guys in the NBA. But
Yeah, I mean, some of those guys are pretty lightweight considering their size.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, well, I think this is probably going to wrap up this episode of Cults Podcast.
100.
Oh my god.
Oh, ruined it. Turn this crap off. Thanks, guys. See you next week.